Creation. A word that echoes with power, with potential, with the promise of something new. It is a force that flows through the universe, driving the birth of the stars and the blooming of flowers. We see it in the passionate dance of two lovers, their bodies coming together to create new life. We feel it in the electric hum of ideas, as minds connect and spark, giving birth to knowledge that illuminates the world. Both are born from unity, from the fusion of separate entities into something greater than themselves. From the intricate helix of DNA to the complex web of neurons firing in our brains, creation is a symphony of collaboration. Just as two bodies unite to create life, so too do minds converge to birth knowledge. Imagine a group of thinkers gathered around a table, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of a shared idea. They come from different backgrounds, different disciplines, each bringing their own unique perspective to the table. They engage in passionate debate, challenging assumptions, dissecting problems from every angle. Ideas are tossed back and forth like sparks in the night, some fading quickly, others catching fire, igniting new thoughts, new lines of inquiry. This is the crucible of creation, where individual brilliance is amplified by the power of the collective. Think of the great scientific discoveries, the technological innovations, the artistic masterpieces that have shaped our world. Rarely, if ever, are these the product of a single mind working in isolation. Instead, they are the culmination of generations of collaborative effort, of countless individuals building upon the work of those who came before. Isaac Newton famously said, "If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." Let us delve deeper into the intricate dance of life's creation. Picture, if you will, the meeting of sperm and egg, two entities, minuscule yet brimming with the potential for life, drawn together by an invisible force. The sperm, a relentless voyager, navigates a complex and challenging landscape, its singular purpose driving it forward. This union, this merging of genetic blueprints, marks the beginning of a new life. Imagine, for a moment, the birth of an idea. It begins as a flicker, a spark of inspiration, perhaps ignited by a chance observation, a snippet of conversation, a passage in a book. This nascent thought, fragile as a newborn star, requires nourishment to grow, to take shape, to transform from a fleeting notion into a tangible concept. Just as the fertilized egg needs the nurturing environment of the womb, so too does an idea need a fertile ground to take root and flourish. The mind, like a garden, must be cultivated, tended with care, and open to the elements. Think of the scientific method, the cornerstone of modern scientific inquiry. It is a process built on collaboration, on the sharing of ideas, and the rigorous testing of hypotheses. Scientists from diverse backgrounds and disciplines come together, their collective knowledge forming a vast intellectual tapestry. They build upon the work of their predecessors, challenging established theories and pushing the boundaries of human understanding. This collaborative spirit, this willingness to share and build upon the ideas of others, is the lifeblood of intellectual progress. Just as a fertilized egg requires time and nourishment to develop into a fully formed human being, so too do ideas need time and careful cultivation to reach their full potential. The gestation period of an idea can vary greatly. Some ideas emerge fully formed, like Athena, springing from the head of Zeus, while others simmer for years, even decades, in the subconscious, waiting for the right conditions to emerge. Think of Darwin's theory of evolution, a concept that germinated for over 20 years as he meticulously gathered evidence and refined his thinking. The key is to create the conditions for serendipitous connections, for those unexpected collisions of thoughts that can spark new insights and breakthroughs. The moment an idea crystallizes, when it moves from the realm of the abstract to the concrete, is akin to a birth. It is a moment of exhilaration, of profound satisfaction, as something new and valuable is brought into the world. This birth can take many forms. It might be the sudden flash of insight, the aha moment, when a solution to a long-standing problem presents itself. Regardless of the form it takes, the birth of understanding is a transformative experience. Just as each generation inherits the genetic legacy of their ancestors, so too do we inherit a vast intellectual legacy from the thinkers, artists, and innovators who came before us. This legacy, passed down through books, traditions, and institutions of learning, represents the accumulated wisdom and experience of countless generations. It is a treasure trove of knowledge, a vast and ever-expanding library of human thought and creativity. But this legacy is not static, frozen in time, like a fly in amber. It is a living, breathing entity, constantly being shaped and reshaped by each new generation that inherits it. Imagine knowledge as a vast and towering ladder, stretching upwards towards the heavens. Each rung represents a discovery, an invention, a new way of seeing the world. We, as a species, are constantly climbing this ladder, each generation reaching higher than the last, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a deep-seated desire to understand the world around us. We stand on the shoulders of giants, those who came before us and laid the foundation for our own ascent. Their achievements, their struggles, their triumphs and failures are etched into the very fabric of this ladder, providing both inspiration and a roadmap for our own journey. The progress of knowledge is not a linear, ever upward trajectory. It is a messy, iterative process, full of dead ends, false starts, and unexpected leaps forward. Each generation adds a small piece to the puzzle, sometimes making revolutionary discoveries that overturn long-held beliefs. Think of Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein. Newton's laws revolutionized our understanding of the universe. Einstein, building on Newton, introduced theories of relativity, showing Newton's laws as a special case of a more general theory. This interplay between generations, respecting the past while challenging it, is essential for the growth of knowledge. Just as a farmer prepares the land for planting, tilling the soil, and removing obstacles, so too must each generation create the conditions for new knowledge to take root and flourish. This involves not only building upon the knowledge of the past, but also being willing to question assumptions and explore uncharted intellectual territory. It requires courage, creativity, and a healthy dose of skepticism. It demands that we resist the allure of intellectual complacency, the temptation to accept things as they are, simply because that's the way they've always been. The history of science is replete with examples of individuals who dared to challenge the status quo, who refused to be bound by the prevailing wisdom of their time. Nicolaus Copernicus, in the 16th century, challenged the geocentric model of the universe, which had held sway for over 1,000 years, proposing instead a heliocentric model, with the sun at the center of the solar system. Galileo Galilei, armed with his telescope and his observations of the moons of Jupiter, provided further evidence for Copernicus's theory, challenging the authority of the Catholic Church and ushering in a new era of astronomical observation and discovery. These pioneers of science faced fierce opposition, ridicule, and even persecution for their beliefs. Yet, they persevered, driven by their unwavering belief in the power of observation, reason, and the pursuit of truth. Their stories serve as a reminder that the advancement of knowledge is rarely a smooth or straightforward process. It often requires challenging deeply held beliefs, confronting established power structures, and being willing to stand alone, even in the face of adversity. Just as a tender seedling requires careful nurturing to grow into a strong and fruitful tree, so too do young minds need guidance and support to develop their full intellectual potential. Educators, mentors, and parents are the gardeners of the mind. They cultivate the fertile ground from which knowledge can blossom. Their role is to inspire a love of learning, to ignite a spark of curiosity that will burn brightly throughout their lives. Think of a master gardener, patiently tending to their plants, providing them with the right amount of sunlight and water, and protecting them from pests and diseases. Educators must approach each student as an individual, recognizing their unique strengths, talents, and learning styles. They create a learning environment that is both challenging and supportive, where students feel safe to explore, to experiment, and to make mistakes. The best educators are facilitators of discovery. They guide their students on a journey of intellectual exploration. They encourage critical thinking, questioning assumptions, and drawing conclusions. They foster a spirit of collaboration, recognizing that learning is enriched by the sharing of ideas and indeed perspectives. Curiosity is the engine of intellectual growth, the driving force behind our quest for understanding. It is the insatiable desire to know, to explore, to unravel the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. Just as a child's eyes light up with wonder at the sight of a butterfly or a rainbow, so too should our minds be filled with awe and curiosity as we contemplate the complexities of the natural world, the intricacies of human relationships, the enduring power of art and music, the boundless possibilities of the human imagination. Cultivating curiosity is not about force-feeding information. It is about creating the conditions for wonder to take root and flourish. It is about providing young minds with the freedom to explore their interests, to pursue their passions, to ask questions without fear of judgment or ridicule. It is about fostering a sense of playfulness, of intellectual adventure, where learning is not seen as a chore, but as an exciting journey of discovery. One of the most effective ways to cultivate curiosity is to expose young minds to a wide range of experiences, ideas, and perspectives. Take them to museums, art galleries, concerts, and theatrical performances. Encourage them to read widely, to travel, to engage with people from different cultures and backgrounds. The more diverse their experiences, the more likely they are to develop a wide-ranging curiosity, an appreciation for the richness and complexity of the world around them. The creation and transmission of knowledge is not a linear process, with each generation simply building upon the achievements of those that came before. It is a cyclical process, an eternal dance between the old and the new, the familiar and the unknown. Just as the seasons turn, bringing with them cycles of growth, decay, and renewal, so too does knowledge ebb and flow, constantly being reshaped, reinterpreted, and reinvigorated by each new generation. Think of a majestic oak tree, its roots sunk deep into the earth, drawing nourishment from the accumulated wisdom of countless seasons. Its branches reach up towards the sky, symbolizing the ever-expanding frontiers of human knowledge. Each spring, new leaves emerge, tender and vibrant, representing the fresh perspectives and insights of a new generation. These new leaves draw energy from the sun, just as young minds draw inspiration from the world around them. As the seasons change, the leaves mature, deepen in color, and eventually fall to the ground, where they decompose, enriching the soil and providing nourishment for future generations of leaves. So too do the ideas and discoveries of each generation eventually fade, becoming part of the rich compost of human knowledge, providing fertile ground for new ideas to take root and flourish. This is the eternal cycle of knowledge, a process of continuous growth, decay, and renewal. Each generation inherits the legacy of the past, builds upon it, adapts it to the challenges of its time, and eventually passes it on to the next generation, enriched by its own unique contributions. We have journeyed from the microscopic dance of creation, where sperm and egg converge to spark new life, to the vast expanse of human knowledge, where ideas collide and ignite understanding. Each generation inherits the intellectual legacy of the past, building upon the achievements of those who came before. The creation of life and knowledge are intertwined, two sides of the same coin, driven by the impulse to create and connect. We are both biological and intellectual beings, our evolution deeply intertwined, striving to create a better world for our children and a richer understanding of the world. The power of unity, recognizing we are all interconnected, drives us forward. It compels us to seek new knowledge and challenge old assumptions, building bridges of understanding. It is the wellspring of our creativity and hope for a brighter future. Let us remember this truth. We are all connected, and through our collective wisdom, we will shape the future of humanity.